Hello and welcome. We're about to dive into something pretty revolutionary that's happening right under our noses, the complete reinvention of banking. And no, I'm not just talking about a flashy new app or a website redesign. This is a total reconstruction, right from the very foundations. So let's get into how it all works. Seriously, think about it for a second. How does that budgeting app on your phone instantly know about the coffee you just bought? Or how can you pay a friend through a completely different service without ever having to log into your actual bank? It feels kind of like magic, doesn't it? Well, it's not magic, it's architecture. And the answer lies in this really elegant concept called the new financial stack. It's built with four distinct layers that are all connected. We're going to start at the bottom with the foundation, open banking, then build our way up through banking as a service, add some smarts with AI banking, and top it all off with the Innovation Lab beta banks. This stack is basically our roadmap for today. Okay, let's start with the absolute bedrock of this entire structure, open banking. This is the key that unlocks, well, everything else. The core idea is right there in the name. It's all about opening up access. For literally decades, your financial data was locked up tight inside your bank's vault. Open banking is what creates a secure key to that vault. But here's the most important part. You, the user, are the only one who can say yes. You grant permission. It's your data, and you get to decide who can use it to build cool new things. So, how does this secure sharing actually work? The tech at the heart of it all is the API. The best way to think of an API is like a waiter in a restaurant. You don't just wander into the kitchen and tell the chef what you want, right? No. You give your order to the waiter, who then communicates it to the kitchen and brings your food back out. An API does that exact same thing for software, letting different apps talk to each other in a really secure, standardized, and controlled way. And this technology makes three really powerful things possible. First, sharing financial data. That's how your budgeting app sees your transactions. Second, initiating payments, so you can pay for something directly from a third-party app without having to log into your bank. And third, publishing service data, which actually forces banks to be more transparent about their products and fees, and that drives some real competition. To put it really simply, this foundational layer is the whole reason you can get that unified 360-degree view of all your money. It's what breaks down the walls between different banks, so you can manage everything from one central place, completely on your own terms. Now, this brings up a really key distinction. You've probably heard the terms open banking and API banking thrown around, maybe even used interchangeably, but they are not the same thing. Just look at that legal obligation row. Open banking is often a regulatory mandate. It's the law, forcing a standard approach for everyone. API banking, on the other hand, can be a bank's own private strategic choice, using custom APIs for specific partners. So one is about compliance, the other is about creating a competitive edge. So, with all this data unlocked, how do we start distributing not just information, but actual banking products? Well, that brings us up to our second layer, banking as a service, or as you'll hear it called, BaaS. Think of BaaS as a Lego set for finance. You've got a licensed bank that provides all the really complex, regulated pieces, like the ability to open an account, issue a card, or offer a loan. Then any other company, a FinTech, or even a big retail brand, can just take these Lego bricks and build them directly into their own products. And they can do it all without needing their own banking license, which is a huge deal. And here you can see exactly how that whole ecosystem connects. Over on the left, you have the licensed BaaS provider bank, the one handling all the core infrastructure. In the middle, the API platform acts as the bridge. And on the right, you've got the fintechs and other brands building the apps and products that you, the end user, actually interact with. It's this seamless pipeline from the heavy-duty regulated stuff to the innovative app in your hand. The advantages here are just massive. Innovators get to market at incredible speeds, skipping the years and millions of dollars it takes to get a banking license. It also enables this idea of embeddedness, which is all about putting financial services seamlessly where customers already are, whether that's inside a ride-sharing app or an online store. Finance stops being a destination and starts being just another feature. But of course, it's not all sunshine and roses. There are definitely challenges. The fintech is still on the hook for navigating super complex regulations, and they're completely dependent on their BaaS provider. I mean, if that provider's systems go down, so does their product. It's an incredibly powerful model for sure, but one that requires managing these risks very, very carefully. So we have open data, and we have distributed services. But what makes it all smart, personal and proactive? That brings us to layer 3, the intelligence engine, AI banking. And this is a massive leap. We're moving beyond just digital access to your accounts and into this whole new world of autonomous finance. Artificial intelligence is literally the brain of the stack. It takes all the data and services from those lower layers and turns them into intelligent, personalized experiences that can actually anticipate what you need, maybe even before you know you need it. This just unlocks so many powerful new capabilities. Credit scores suddenly become way more accurate because they can analyze thousands of data points, not just a few static ones. All those repetitive back-office tasks get automated, which lowers costs for everybody. And most importantly, you get financial suggestions that are truly tailored to you and your unique behavior, not just some generic one-size-fits-all rule. All right, it's time for the top floor of our stack, the Innovation Lab. This is where all the other layers come together to test what the future of banking is really going to look like. This is Layer 4, beta banks. So, what in the world is a beta bank? Okay, imagine a huge traditional bank. Let's call it the Alpha Bank. It wants to try out some radical new idea. But instead of trying to turn the entire massive ship, it creates a small, separate, and super agile unit, the beta bank. It gets to operate under the parent's license, but it has the freedom of a startup to just experiment and move fast. See, beta banks are designed to be everything that their parent organizations often struggle with. They're laser-focused on the user experience, they're allowed to take bigger risks and to fail fast, they adopt advanced tech like AI from day one, and they can pivot on a dime. For these big legacy banks, this isn't just a fun experiment, it's a survival strategy to figure out what they need to become next. Okay, we've built our structure layer by layer. Now let's just step back for a second and look at the incredibly powerful engine for innovation that we've just put together. And here it is. This is the whole concept in action. You can see it's not four separate ideas, it's one single, interconnected ecosystem. Open banking provides that foundational data access. BaaS distributes the core banking functions everywhere. AI brings the intelligence and makes it all work better. And beta banks use the entire stack to innovate at the edge. Each layer enables the next, creating this amazing engine for change. And if there's just one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this fundamental shift in perspective. For centuries, banking was a physical place you had to go to. Now, thanks to this stack, it's becoming this invisible, embedded utility that's simply a part of all the other things you do every day. Ultimately, this new stack isn't just about delivering the same old services in a new wrapper. It's an open platform. It's a set of building blocks for creating entirely new forms of value we haven't even thought of yet. The tools are here. The real question is, what are we all going to build with them?